state, and it's probably never going to improve. And directly being within an industry and seeing things play out, knowing things, being a part of companies and everything, as much in the past as I'll get told by people like, oh, quit being cynical, oh, you don't know these things, it's like at the same time I've already realized it now, because I always realize it, but I always had that thing in the back of my mind where you want to hope that that's all it is. You want to be like, no, maybe, you know, even though you feel this way, you think this way, maybe there's some hope that that's not how things are kind of going. So when people say that shit to me, I want to be like, you know, maybe you are just being cynical, maybe you are just kind of judging things wrong, but after things as of late, and then also after the trip and just getting to experience like going to a theater, hearing everyone in the theater say like, oh, I want to see the Emoji Movie, getting to witness stuff like that, it's just kind of like, you know what? This is where things are at. This is it. Make the most of things on your own end. Create something, do something with yourself, because if the things that you're looking for are not there anymore, you may as well try to do something on your own end to at least remind you of things that you had enjoyed, because you're probably not going to ever get it again. And yeah, I'm feeling the most motivated I've ever felt, but at the same time I'm also probably the most disappointed I've ever felt with just things in general, like movies, games, everything. I'm saddened by a lot of that. General audience is just consuming nothing but garbage and being okay with it, and giving people a hard time for not wanting to go along with that. Cause I don't know, it's that difficult thing too, where it's like I want to be like Mr. Oh, it's so high and mighty, you're right about everything, right? Oh, everyone's so stupid. I don't want to have that kind of mentality either, but I do need to recognize more where it's hopeless to try to talk about some of these things, or like even humor a discussion where you can be directly involved with the thing you're talking about, or know every little aspect of it because you witnessed it from the beginning, and will still get people like, no, you're wrong about it. And it's just like, okay, well, I think it's a hopeless discussion on that end whenever it gets to that. Oh my god. I've heard people talk about the company that I had worked for recently and say things that couldn't be any more wrong. And it's just like, okay, well, you're trying to say very personal things about all of this, and you're wrong about all of it. It goes much worse than anything anyone would have imagined, but you'll have people saying like, well, actually this and this. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, no, that's not how it is. Typically that's how it goes. Typically, knowing things from the inside and all that, it's much worse than you would ever imagine it is. At least within like that sort of area where you're creating a product. With something like Let's Plays, it's usually not interesting in any way at all, but people assume that it's way more interesting than it is. Let's Plays are as boring as it gets. There's a... Oh, this is running a much higher frame rate than usual. Let's Plays typically are just really boring, there's nothing going on there. And in terms of like the game industry and companies and everything, oh boy. And then just why certain games come to be, why some things end up even just getting made, because that's the whole idea. So let's get money out of people. And then it gets held up for a bunch of years and everyone says, this is monumental, this is phenomenal. Hey, I know a game like that. I knew people who wrote about a game like that and didn't even really have much faith or confidence within what it was. It's just because it was an obligated thing for them. This is not a recent thing, by the way. This was years back, but got to see that play out, and hey, guess what? It's exactly what you would have expected from that. It's people recognizing in full that no, this thing is not special in any way, but they got talked into doing a favor. And because so many people got put into that position, the general audience then takes it and thinks that it's something meaningful. Because so many people talked about it, it's got to be meaningful. No, there's plenty of situations like that where it's just business. It's not meaningful. Because people got pushed into a spot like that. And it sucks seeing that happen. People will give it the benefit of the doubt because, well, if all these people are talking about it, it's gotta be a reason for it. No, not always. Not always. It's business. It's companies. They're selling a product. No, typically there isn't necessarily a reason. It's just connections and what would be the most viable option to make money. Jesus, that thing gets big. The reason I'm not gonna say anything in regards to that one though is because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but you can probably imagine what game came out a few years ago that everyone was holding up as being monumental for storytelling. And plenty of the people who wrote about it didn't even have any faith in it or think it was something good. Just because it was a favor. Yeesh. It's depressing. It's I am very, very, very happy about that though. I'm glad the game industry has opened up as much as it has. I did not know that was a pit. Are you gonna say this recording? Absolutely not. I'm not saving this stream. This is a bad stream. I'm gonna say this though. I know what's this channel? Is it Save Streams or whatever? Who's been saving most of these streams? That actually won't be required for much longer because oh, look at that! They joined together to become one big guy. When I end up finishing the partnering process, the good news from that one is that VODs will now just be saved permanently on Twitch. And won't be there for subscribers, so yeah. That'll be a thing, and even streams I'm not satisfied, I'll probably just be saving anyways. I'll probably suck it up at that point, but for now, shitty streams like this, it's because I'll probably have better equipment and everything too. But there's usually reasons why these streams I don't typically want to save. Either I just thought the stream itself was really bad, or other things that come up during them. I typically don't want to save them. So that's why I don't do it very often. And then someone will make a post and say, autism, autistic, maximum degenerate, maximum autism, and why don't he save the stream? Because I don't think the streams are good, that's it. That's all there is to it. Why shouldn't someone talking in a droning voice for 2 hours shouldn't be something really worth saving anyways. I'm gonna guess that's a pit if I fell in there. These things freak me out because of how big they are and how low the frame rate's running. So is it how many gems is it to get extended health? Is it 300 or something? Did you play the games good? No, I don't. I'm surprised the Mario 64 series I'm not actually getting shit over how I've been playing it. I was expecting more of that. Because I was making really stupid mistakes with it. gotta be a way to make that jump. Nope, you can't grab that ledge. Oh well. That's what I get for trying. Yeah, there's guys that look like this in Kirby and the Crystal Shards. I think they're in Dreamland 3 too. Guessing can't bomb jump. Nope. It's too bad because I really like bomb jumping. I thought it was a really fun mechanic in 64. Sad to see it go. I said it repeatedly this stream actually. We're gonna play the Insane Trilogy. I sure did see the shitty promo art for Star Fox 2. I mean, at least they have a hook, I guess, to sell this one. Because, boy oh boy, after discontinuing the NES Mini almost immediately, and barely anyone was able to get them because they barely made that many of them from the get-go. What a shitty thing of them to do. I don't know why Nintendo gets let off so easily. Because a lot of people will just say like, oh, give them time, they'll modernize, they'll figure it out. Hey, you know what that equates to? Them charging for their online service on the Switch for no reason. That's Nintendo catching up. Not bettering their internet service or anything. Not bettering the whole model they got going. It's just them adopting things like that. Give Nintendo time, they'll catch up. They'll do DLC for Smash and then overprice it ridiculously. Make it more expensive than DLC typically is for any other games that has content like that. They do not deserve a free pass on a lot of these things. If it was any other company, people would insult them for how poorly managed they are. But because it's Nintendo, it's alright. Man, I swore I made that jump. I don't like that you freeze midair when you fall in a pit either, because it misleads you. I'm gonna try that again. At least my explosions are smaller now. Whoops. Nah, there's no secret back there. Yep, the Joy-Cons go for a ton of money. I remember Julian and I saw that in the store because we saw the pricing for it and he was like, oh, well, that's gotta be for like a used system or something, right? No, that's how much the Joy-Cons go for. They're very expensive for no reason whatsoever. It's insane. Fucking Wii remotes aren't that expensive. There's no reason those deserve to be so... They're not even good to play with. They're not even that great. They're nice because you can rip them off and have two controllers. They're not that great to play games with. It's insane. Oh, you know when melee is going up. Apparently it's not going up anymore because the audio got fucked, because that was when we were recording at the Grump's office still. And the, people were trying to give Man Ryan a hard time for that too, when it's not even their fault. The Game Grumps office had audio issues for a little while, so a lot of games weren't even capturing audio. I'm probably not gonna get a Switch for a while. I know they're gonna do like a new model for it or something. That'd be the time that'd be more interesting because they'd fix it up, probably improve battery life. Do something better with the Joy-Cons. That's when I'd be considering getting one. Not right now. Do they actually expect me to jump up to that? Okay, first of all, I kept trying to go up here. Is there even like... No, there's a heart up there. I don't need that. I do need that though. I made that jump now. Look at this part, how it drops your frame rate. Whee! Put the funny bombs down. That heart path better not have something on it that I need. I do not want to go back to it. Oh no, there's two enemies right there. What am I talking about? Ow. Right. You better count for 200 points. It's technically two enemies getting together. Yeah, he does. Okay. Oh, CTR would be a lot of fun. I forgot about that. Someone mentioned the PS4. Our PS3. We gotta use PS3 so we could play PS2 games on it. And it didn't even matter because the laser on it apparently fucked off after 2 months. It doesn't work anymore. If we put a disc in the system, no matter what it is, it just doesn't show up. People were saying try tilting it or whatever. That didn't do anything. In fact, one time when I tilted it, the system freaked the fuck out for no reason and started overheating itself, which is weird. But I remember the PS3 is weird hardware and does that anyways. So we might have to get a replacement. People talking about ranked rumps. So I think I've just realized now that a lot of that following anyways is they watch it for like why people watch Dark Side Phil. People aren't there necessarily to appreciate the content. That's why you end up with something like Rank Rumps. It's like the highlight of that. Dark Side Phil I feel like is actually deserving of it though. No, we're not playing. We're not gonna ever play Night in the Woods again. Also, pretty funny how everyone completely stopped talking about Night in the Woods. How about that? It's almost like it was just a stupid little trend, and that's why so many people kept picking it up and playing it. And then ultimately it was meaningless, so it's faded away into obscurity. Most of the people I heard talking about it anyways when it came out were furries. Just because they wanted to fuck the characters in it. They don't even necessarily had value towards what the game itself was. I mean, to be fair, slow beef isn't so great either. Yeah, this song's pretty relaxing. I like this one. It's sad to me that Retsu Parade had to fall apart as a channel. I loved it way back when it first started and everything. I think the way to mark the turning point was the I have no mouse. I have no mouse. I have no mouth and I must scream series that they did. And when Diabetes pretends for like 2 minutes to get really offended that he didn't know that the one character had rape trauma, and he was pretending to be really upset that he wasn't told about that, so he was making jokes about someone who's raped and how that's not okay. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, knock it off. It's really awkward because of how fake and hammed up it is. And if anyone's gonna be like, well, no, that was a joke. There's no joke. That part is not a joke. They really thought that they were doing something good by having that in there. I thought that they were subtle actors with it. It was really embarrassing. I think our neighbors downstairs are blasting music. If I guessed it wrong. Yeah, they are. That sucks. Oh well. These sort of try to home in on enemies when they get close. But there's also a limit to how far they can go, so I can't get these. Got that one. There we go. Is that enough? Oh, there's a boss here, isn't there? That's what this part is. Or not. I guess not. Oh. This is a puzzle. Yeah, that's fun. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? Hope I didn't miss anything at the beginning. You need a wall-through item. Okay. It's a weird way of wording it. A wall-through item? Retsu Parade was a really fun channel when it first started off, though. And it's never gonna go back to that point. It's because something awful itself changed over time, too. It becomes... It's weird. It became the kind of website that they would have made fun of back in the day. Part of it's because of a lot of the moderators that they ended up letting in over time. I mean, they had an actual pedophile who was a moderator at one point. They became something completely different. Their identity really got lost, and oh, I guess that's the wall through. And because of that, it's That's why something like Retro Parade changed so much too, because I mean that's where they came from. No, that wasn't in reference to Schmarky. It was a different thing that happened. And something awful. One of the moderators posted on a private staff forum about it. Which is, I was hoping that would be kept on the down low, except, yeah, no, that's a very serious, it's a very serious thing. But just that ending up happening anyways, like, it opened up so much as a site in that regard that something like that ended up as a moderator. Something awful really fell apart over time as a community. And it's why something like Retsupre goes from just making jokes about really bad Let's Play channels to not doing that ever again. Just talking over long plays that people did. And then not even really making jokes anymore because they've filtered themselves so much. I remember them doing videos like that around the time that I stopped watching a few years back, where they took down one of their videos where they made fun of something and said, listen, we're the professionals, guys. We saw a lot of you were leaving comments making fun of this person too, and that's not right. Because we're not doing that. We're not attacking them. Even though in the video themselves they're saying like, oh, he sounds like he's obese, he needs a diet and everything, like they're making fun of him for being overweight and everything. It's like, yeah, okay. Just playful old jabs, you know, nothing harmful. Not insults or anything. You guys are the professionals. It's like, don't pretend you're something you're not. That's why people watch that channel, because that's what it was. It was making jokes about people who were doing bad video content. That was the whole point. It's not some respectful relationship with the people that you're making fun of in the videos. It's never been that. It never was respectful. And after doing a disrespectful video and pulling it and insisting that you did something respectful, no, the video still was what it was. It's never been a respectful thing. That's why people liked it. You don't have to pretend it's something else. You can be honest what it is. Does Retsupre still do videos? I actually haven't even kept up for years. Do they still do videos, or do they kind of stop altogether? Remember they had Total Biscuit on? I'm sure they would never do that again. Whatever happened to Ray William Johnson? He had a weird ego trip for whatever reason. Faded into complete irrelevance, got really depressed. Then started posting videos to his channel again, but with other hosts doing it as opposed to him. Started doing some stuff. They didn't start doing that, they did that long ago. Huh.